Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the length of a line segment. And in order to help us with our discussion, I've just drawn an XY grid here, and I've put 2 points. We're just going to label those points. Use a different color. Let's call this 1 and that one 2. Although it doesn't matter at all, you could switch them. And then we're going to think about this as a line segment joining those 2 points. Then we can think about how far apart the 2 points are. And in order to help us with that, I'm going to draw a triangle that connects these points. So one that goes in the y direction and one that goes in the x direction. And when we look at this, we already have ways of finding this length here. We'll call that C. And we'll label this A and this side B. And so you can see this is a right triangle. And because it's a right triangle, we have this expression a squared plus b squared equals c squared that you've seen a bunch of times. This is just Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so now how do we then use Pythagorean theorem without having to directly measure the side lengths and just going from the points? And so let's just write in what the points are. We'll call this x2, y2 because that's point 2. And over here we'll call this x1, y1 because that's point 1. And then we can just try to think about the length of A according to the y values and the length of B according to the x values. Okay, so A then is equal to, well, we're starting up here at y2. We have to go all the way to 0 and then down to y1 here. And so altogether, that's going to be y2 minus y1. Likewise, B, the distance between x2 and x1 is just going to be equal to x2 minus x1. And now let's just alter our thinking, and we're just going to change this to an L because this is the length of the line segment, which we have up there. Okay, and we'll just substitute everything in together. The length of a line segment then, squared, is equal to A, but we know that A is y2 minus y1 squared, and then plus B, but B is x2 minus x1, so x2 minus x1 squared. And so if we want to solve for the length, I'm just going to rearrange this a little bit. Just take the square root and just put the x's first because that's what we're used to. Squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And there we go. We have the length of a line segment. Right there. Let's do one quick example of this. So what is the distance between, we'll just pick 2 points, say minus 2, minus 5, and let's say 5 minus 8. Okay, so we just start off with our formula. Always write out the formula. Square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And now we're just plugging in what we know. Okay, so you have to decide on which point is 1 and which point is 2. I'll just go in order. You don't have to. You just pick which point is 1 and which is 2. And so x2 then becomes 5 minus x1, which is minus 2 squared, plus, now we have y2, which is minus 8, minus 5 squared, This is going to be the square root of, this is 7 squared plus, and we have minus 8 minus minus 5, which is going to be 3. 3 squared then is 9. So I'll just do that all in one step. So we have the square root of 49 plus 9, which is the square root of 58, which you can do in your calculator. Okay? And that's the distance between those 2 points.